Hey guys, LunarSpy1127 here. Before I begin, I just wanted to say one thing. Last week's chapter, I said that the mysterious person from 500 was not Grimjow because of the color of his Zanpakuto. I guess I was referring to the anime instead of the manga. And to be honest, I did not read the manga until Ichigo and Noitora fight. So around that time. So I didn't see Grimjow's Zanpakuto sword around that time. So I apologize for that mistake. I know it was a pretty stupid mistake, but that doesn't mean I want the mysterious person to be Grimjow. I mean, I think it could be, but we don't know because it wasn't shown in chapter 501. And to be honest, Grimjow, he didn't seem like the person to really surprise Urahara back in last week's chapter, so I apologize for that mistake, and I hope the mysterious person is Grimjow, because that would be pretty cool, but it could be someone else, as I said before. So, Bleach chapter 501, Here, Fear, Here. The chapter begins with Ichigo right after he launches his Getsuga Tensho to break the cage, but but not even that worked. I'm guessing since Kurche is, I'm assuming, dead, because, cut in half, I guess that his powers still work even after death. So, right after that, Ichigo checks Urahara's old soul phone. He seems to be disconnected from the technology bureau that he was hearing from last week's chapter, all the screams. He's trying to ask Urahara what's happening, but but there's no response from Urahara. I'm guessing a mysterious person, either something happened to Urahara because of the mysterious person, or he's okay, just not answering yet. And Ichigo starts, getting really frustrated. And then we cut back to Soul Society. We cut back to the fight with Byakuya, Renji, and Asnote. Byakuya's fighting him, and he got cut. Renji was gonna go and help him, but Byakuya orders him to stay back. And he's ordering Byakuya to watch his battle to figure out Asnote's ability. Or is it Asnot? I'll call him Asnot. But Renji asks why couldn't he be the one to fight first, but Byakuya says that he doesn't have the proper skills to reveal the extent of Asnot's ability. That's kind of insulting. During the fight, he's starting to feel like his arms and legs are freezing, and he's assuming that the thorns, or from what Asnot calls them, his arrows, were filled with some kind of poison. But Asnot tells Byakuya that it's not poison, it's fear. Byakuya is scared. That's kind of surprising. But apparently, according to Asnot, the arrows that Byakuya got hit, they contain fear, and whoever gets hit by these arrows will become so afraid that they would scream and they'll go insane, which will cause their hearts to burn up and explode. Which would probably explain why the Shinigami were screaming when they were stabbed by Asnot's arrows. But however, Byakuya seems to be suppressing his fear with thanks to his willpower, and he starts attacking Asnot, but he has his defense bluffs activated, so the attack didn't work on him. Asnot's monologuing about fear, and then Byakuya is thinking that he's overcome fear so many times in every life or death crisis. He also says that he'd never suppressed any sort of fear. He accepted fear through battle, and then he got an image of Rukia, and then next panel you get zombie Rukia. I can describe this panel in 5 words. Goodbye, sweet dreams. Hello, nightmares. But I gotta be honest with you, zombie Rukia was actually a pretty good drawing and kinda messed up. This is probably it's actually one of the good things that happened in this chapter. And I'm assuming that because of the fear that is slowly consuming Byakuya, he's seeing mental images of Rukia, and then seeing Rukia decomposing and decaying. I mean, you got her turning into a zombie. It was kind of creepy. But because of this mental image, Asno managed to managed to blow a hole through Byakuya. But, ever since Tsukishima, he's gonna be okay with that. Yeah. And plus, he's a Shinigami. They don't die that easily. And then Asnot, as I said before, he does monologue about fear, but I can pretty much sum up what he says. Fear that has a reason is gentle. True fear has no reason. It's not an emotion, it's an instinct, and even though you can control emotions, you can't control your instincts. So fear is something you cannot control. Makes sense? And then he says that true fear is reasonless, limitless, like terrifying bugs that slowly creep up your body. And then he says, we cannot escape our instincts. And then he got an image of Byakuya covered with bugs. And one of the bugs is like flying up to his mouth. That's kind of gross. I don't like bugs. I'm okay with some bugs, but bugs crawling over your body is just creepy. I'm guessing because of this, it's actually showing what Asnot is saying about fear. Bugs slowly creeping up his body, and I'm guessing it's another mental image he's having, or something. I don't know. But because of this, Byakuya does something I did not expect him to do. He loses control because of his fear, screams, and carelessly tries to attack Asnot. This is the first time I have ever seen Byakuya afraid, and the first time he starts screaming. Not counting the Ray Guy filler arc from the Bleach anime, though. Because that was a Ray Guy. It wasn't really Byakuya, so, yeah. Anyway, Asnot, he dodges the attack, and he has the medallion that he stole Byakuya's Zanpakuto Toe Spirit, or Bankai, because, come to think of it, can Byakuya use his Shikai? I don't think he can, because, back in the chapter when Toshio was trying to speak with Hyo and Maru, I'm assuming that they stole their Zanpakuto Toe Spirits, hence they can't use their Shikai. But I guess they can only steal them when they reach Bankai, so, yeah. And then, after that, you cut to Rukia, and you see a single cherry blossom floating near her, and she's thinking, brother? And then the final page, wow. Now, before I get into the final page, I have to say, I was right. My theory was right. Because Asnot, in the final panel, he used Zenbon Zakura against Byakuya. So I was right that they can use their Bankais or their Zanpakuto Toe Spirits against the Shinigami. Which means that we could probably see Chojiro Sasakibe's Bankai as well. But on another note, the chapter ends with Byakuya being severely cut by Zenbon Zakura. And in one of the side messages, it says R.I.P., rest in peace. So, I know Byakuya is one of the most popular captains in Bleach, but they're making it look like that Byakuya may die. If he does die, then I would be really sad because I kind of like Byakuya, but I don't think he is dead. I guess maybe next week's chapter, we'll probably have to wait and see next week's chapter to see what happened to Byakuya, but it seems that Renji might take over for Byakuya and fight against Asnot. I'm guessing the only way Renji could be able to beat him is, to get him to deactivate his defense blood and not get stabbed by Asnot's arrows, otherwise he'll be consumed by fear. So overall, this chapter was a really good chapter. I was really surprised seeing Byakuya seeming like, I'm not sure if it's out of character, but seeing him being afraid and consumed by fear was really interesting. Asnot, he is not only really creepy, but a very intriguing villain, I will admit. And I was disappointed that we didn't get to see who the mysterious person was who killed Kurije and had that sword up to Urahara's face. It seems like, if Byakuya is down, that all that's left now are the 12 remaining captains. So far, ever since this war started, over 2,000 Shinigami and counting died, or probably dead. Izuru has been down for the count. Still not confirmed whether he's dead or not. Byakuya seems to be down, and also Hidetomo Kajamaru, he's most likely dead as well, because he was also cut in half by one of the Sternritter. So, yeah, and so far, no casualties with the Vandenreich, except you count maybe the Luchador Quincy, but he just fell down a hole. For this chapter, I really like this chapter. The drawing, the action was pretty good. I liked Asnod's definition on true fear. It was really interesting. So I'm giving it a 8 out of 10. This was a really good chapter, and once again, the Shinigamis are struggling. They just probably lost one of their popular captains. I don't know how they're having a hard time. Ichigo is still trapped in the cage, and if Kubo really did kill Byakuya, considering this is the final arc, shit goes down, a lot of fans are going to be really pissed because Byakuya is really popular. So overall, this was a great chapter. So Bleach chapter 501, I'm Lunar Spiral 1127, and I'll see you guys.